Hello again, everyone. I'm Gary Gotza with Race First, filling in for Chris at NRN, who's on assignment again this week. And welcome to the National Racing Network and Race First co-coverage of Round 9 of the Fall 2022 season of the Sim Racer Club's Premier Series, coming to you from the biggest and the fastest oval operational in the world today, Talladega Superspeedway. Joining me in the booth for driver analysis tonight, he is a regular participant in the official iRacing IndyCar Series and our resident NASCAR expert. Please welcome Justin Petschauer. And also joining us in the booth, a bit more familiar voice to you all. He's going to make Justin and I sound much smarter for this race than we did at Bristol. It's NRN's own Bizzle, Patrick Burns. So Justin, my first question for you. When we visited Bristol a couple of weeks ago here at Race First, we rarely, like we did when we went to Bristol, we rarely go to Talladega. In fact, we've never been to Talladega to cover a race until this event. Justin, tell us about Talladega and specifically how these next-gen cars will race here versus the cars we've seen from the handful of years.
Well, it's a 2.66 mile track. As you said, the biggest and longest track still in operation on the NASCAR circuit. Opened back in 1969. Nice. With a very controversial event where a driver's strike happened courtesy of some very poor tires between Firestone and Goodyear, in which we all saw history go by the wayside of Firestone essentially leaving the series and Goodyear being the sole tire provider ever since then. The difference between the Gen 6 from 2013 to 2021 with the amount of rules packages that car had over the years to now, it's night and day. The closing rate with the next-gen car in the draft at not just here at Talladega, but also Daytona and now Atlanta Superspeedway, or is it Motor Speedway? I can't remember now because they changed it. It's absolutely astronomical. You can be between 2 to 5 car lengths behind another guy, and you can just literally pull him back, whether from behind, and make a slingshot pass, or the side draft, as you would see here in the stock cars. You wouldn't see it in an Indy car because that would end in a very bad wreck.
Yes, it would.
As I stumble over my own words there. But with the side draft, just close up on him. You somewhat pinch him down. I wouldn't necessarily call it pinching down, but just close up enough to him, pull him back just a little bit, and pull right past him to use the good old side draft, as it's called. And we've seen a number of last lap passes used with the slingshot side draft pass throughout the years here at Talladega Superspeedway, both in iRacing and the NIS Open and Fixed, as the Coke Series as well, but also in the real life series. And for more on the drivers tonight, I'm going to hand it over to the most familiar voice to everybody here tonight's broadcast, Mr. Patrick Burns, a.k.a. Bizzle.
Bizzle, yeah, that's right, Biz. You know these drivers best. What's going through their minds tonight as they prepare for these 75 laps here of which surely will be pack racing the entire way?
If you are not part of the Will Worcester Racing conglomerate, you are scared tonight. Those guys have a bigger Discord call than I have ever seen before. I believe there's 8-9 guys in there tonight. They're going to be team racing. They're all going to be pitting together. Usually they run 2 separate strategies to make sure at least one of them wins the race. Usually they get the whole podium. So if my name is someone like Richard Smith, Mike McConville, I'd be a little scared tonight.
Well, here's all you need to know about the official and unofficial track records here at Talladega. Talladega is where the 200-mile-per-hour barrier officially fell in the modern era of racing. Buddy Baker turned a lap of 200.447 in March of 1970 to establish the mark. By comparison, the first 200-mile-per-hour lap to be achieved at Indianapolis in an IndyCar wasn't set until 1977 when the gas man Tom Sneema turned a lap of 200.535 there at Indy. The official NASCAR Cup Series track record here at Talladega, set by, of course, Bill Elliott in the spring of '87 without a restrictor plate with a speed of 212.809 miles per hour. However, in June of 2004, Rusty Wallace turned an unrestricted lap of 216.309 to up the record, albeit unofficially. For open wheelers, A.J. Foyt set the world closed course record here in August of '74 with its trademark Gilmore Racing Orange Coyote IndyCar with a speed of 217.854. This will be the open wheel record until Rick Mears beat it at Michigan in 1986. For Foyt, this was the same car he set on the pole in Indianapolis in the previous May with the best lap of 192.555 in Indianapolis. So that's an incredible 25 miles per hour difference between his record lap at Talladega and his pole run at Indianapolis. Dale Earnhardt Sr. holds the record for the most wins here, 10. The active wins leader here, Keselowski with 6. He's your leader by a long shot. Joey Logano with 3. Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, and Denny Hamlin all tied with 2. We got about 6 minutes left here in qualifying. And Biz, what are you seeing out there?
I see everyone just kind of getting ready. Really, really close, really tight. The second and third place cars are only 0.03 of a second apart so far in qualifying. Johnny Avila has the pole by a long shot, but I would have put money on that one. He's been pretty good at these super speedways and just about everywhere else we've gone.
And let's give you an idea of time. In a time of 55.555, we can convert that for you here to miles per hour. And there you see, all by himself, without an 8 of a draft, 178.352. We saw him out there in the low 190s when they were in the draft. That is the difference between being in the draft here and not being in the draft. Kind of goes exactly what you were saying, Justin.
Yeah, there was also a couple of instances. I was looking at the timing and scoring with the trap speeds on the backstretch. There was a group of 3 that were slingshotting past a group of 2 cars up on the outside, and the highest speeds that I saw from the second car in line on the low line near the dreaded yellow line, as I call it.
Out of bounds, yes.
Yeah, they were going close to 200 miles an hour, so 197, 198 miles an hour. So it can be reached, but it's kind of almost a norm now. We see mid-190s for the draft compared to the 200-plus miles an hour speed that we saw in years prior.
We got about 4 minutes now, 30 seconds left in qualifying. Avia, Moore, Knott, Worsler, and Dick are your provisional top 5 at the moment. 3 stages tonight. Stage 1 will be a yellow at lap 15. Stage 2 will be lap 35, but there will be no yellows for that one. And then we will race to the end. Right now, as far as I know, we didn't have any at Bristol, so we didn't experience any green-white checkers. But, of course, we do have that in our back pocket here as well. And 1 fast repair for each one of the drivers.
Another thing I did notice though in the draft, the air displacement with this rear diffuser, it's going to move guys around. So we're going to have to pay very close attention to see what happens, whether the dreaded netcode happens or if something else happens, aka regular contact, that triggers the ever so nightmarish big one as it's known.
Well, if you enjoy NRN's coverage of the SRC's Premier Series and respect their weekly stream, please do them a solid. Make sure you support them by subscribing. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash like and click the bell so you don't miss out on future NRN broadcasts. They have lots of them. And now we're looking about another 3 minutes and 20 seconds left in qualifying. Currently watching Corbin Simmons coming to his cool-down lap on the backstretch. As he actually coming off of corner number 4 into the pits. Got a couple cars still making time out there. Here comes one coming to the pits as well. There's Richard Fletcher. Apparently he's going to sport the green color. Does not know about the green car myth.
Yeah, I think we need to inform some of the drivers on what happens when you run a green car. It doesn't matter what type of racing series it is. The only ones that ever could get away with running the green paint schemes was the iconic Team Lotus team in Formula One back in the 60s through early 70s.
Oh, yeah. The British racing green is the allowed color of green. Other greens than that, of course, I believe Waltrip was a big proponent of the green car. But then it's a funny thing that at least of the green myth, and it's funny because he drove a Mountain Dew car for a long time, so he must know.
Well, there was also another one as well. Tony Kanaan, 7-Eleven. He had green on his car as well.
Yeah, but he had actually pretty good luck.
Kyle Busch, 2015. He was in a green car.
Oh, yeah, the Interstate Batteries car. I forgot about that.
At the 2018 Indy 500, Danica Patrick decided that she'd go a green car and run number 13. That didn't bode well for her. She wrecked in turn 2.
I have always been a strong believer of Danica was actually a really, really great driver in NASCAR, but being in a green car every week just screwed her each and every time.
I still say she moved up too quick.
Yeah, I think so. I think they just had lightning in the bottle and was had a sponsor that wanted to really spend some money there. Watching Max Williams coming out of the pits. He's going to try to take another lap. Nope, he's going to go ahead and park it. Still got a couple cars left on the Tony Patton. Having the general there is having some issues. And I think just about everyone is done. So we're just going to wait for the timer to run out. Right now, your top 5 is Avia Moore Jr., not Worsler Dick. Regular participant in the Formula Indy series that we cover here on Race First. AJ Digby in the 6th position. Jacob Williams 7th. McConneville 8th. Will Height 9th. And Fletcher making up your top 10. Pretty much everybody in that top 10 is in that 178 mile per hour bracket.
Yeah, very, very close on the sides as well as the speed. But that's almost common here at Talladega. Not so common at Daytona, Atlanta, and I'll even throw an IndyCar reference in there. The Indianapolis Motor Speedway with the Indy 500 and the 4-lap average qualifying. You talk about a great differential in speeds there.
15 seconds, and this will be official for Avia, and then we will grid up for 75 laps of action here at the world's fastest and biggest operational oval in the world. It's Talladega Superspeedway, actually located not too far away from where IndyCar likes to visit, there at the Barber Motorsports Park, just outside of Birmingham, and we're getting ready to grid up, and we'll get that starting lineup here up on the screen momentarily. Wow, that was loud. There we go. And your starting lineup here for SRC Premier Series Talladega race. Johnny Avia, your pole sitter, the 53.555 on the pole. Andrew Moore Jr. in the 77 starting 2nd. Tim Knott starting 3rd. Will Worsler in the number 29 starting 4th. Kevin Dick starting 5th. AJ Digby. Gotta have it's not an Indianapolis race, it's not an IndyCar race, but it's still a proper race when you have an AJ in the lineup, and especially when he runs at number 14, AJ Digby with the 53.629 starting 6th.
Jacob Williams there, starting 7th, the number 2 with a time of 53.636. Mike McConville, the number 57 there, starting 8th with a time of 53.640. Number 19, Thomas Wilhite, starting 9th with another close lap time, 53.653. And rounding out your top 10, Richard Fletcher, the number 43. Also another proper one there. First name of Richard, car number 43.
There you go.
Just like the 14 there.
Tyler Seville is going to be starting in the 11th position with qualifying time of 53.665. So close to the top 10. Hunter Waters, another WWR driver, starting in the 12th position with a 53.681. Brad Allison starting 13th with 53.681 as well. I want to see that 4th decimal point. Colton Harvey
I think we all do.
Colton Harvey starting 14th with a 53.685. And 15th is going to be Joshua Morris with a 53.693.
Starting 16th, the General, Tony Patton, car number 86 with a 53.727. Scott Wise, number 99, starting 17th with a 53.752. Also Troy Haight, car number 28, also with a 53.752. That's another one we need to look and see the 4th decimal number on that. Starting P18, Roger Rio Matias, car number 5, red 5. If anybody gets a reference on that one.
Got it.
53.754, starting 19th, and rounding out your top 20, Richard Smith II, car number 23 with a 53.755.
Richard Smith II starting in the 20th position. Yeah, we already said him, didn't we? John Moeller going to be starting 21st with a 53.762. Max Williams starting 22nd. Pixton starting 23rd, and Corbin Simmons rounding out your field starting 24th. We also have Oscar Jensen showing in the 25th position, but he seems to be having a little bit of connection issues. Hopefully he can get onto the grid and join these guys for a fantastic race tonight.
And running out the field, I don't know if it was already said, car number 53, Jordan Berry, no lap time, starting shotgun on the field. Who knows? He might be the sleeper hit tonight if he plays it safe.
He is actually going to be our race director tonight.
Oh, okay. So race director, yeah, in the lineup there. So he might make an impact on the race. We never know.
Oh, he definitely will. He's going to throw that stage yellow. He'll be throwing out all the yellows, penalties, maybe even calling a photo finish tonight.
Well, Gary, they're coming off of turn 4. It's going to be fast-paced, white-knuckle, 3, maybe 4 wide. This place is big enough to do 4 wide, so we're going to have to see how it all plays out tonight.
Well, pace truck now below the yellow line. Field will shortly be in the command of Avia here as he brings the field up to speed, getting ready to hit that restart zone. Very slowly bringing these guys down. Of course, Talladega has their start-finish line not in the same position where it is at Daytona, which is normally right about here. It's a little bit further down the front straight going into 1. That's where the start-finish line is, and we are green here at Talladega, and Avia has himself a big lead, which is just going to evaporate by the time he gets to the back of the into the backstretch.
Yeah, I think he jumped out to too much of a lead there. When you jump out that far, you're a sitting duck, and you're going to watch Andrew Moore Jr. try and make a move. He's going to shove him down to the inside line, and maybe that was intentional. Maybe he was blocking a little bit.
Already seeing 3 wide action here right in the mid-pack, but they're starting to sort themselves out already. That's almost not expected here in Talladega. Most of the time you'll see them go 3-4 wide already on the start, but that's mostly NIS open and fix. You see that in here. League Racing, you can see some pretty calm action here as the speeds have picked up tremendously now as they come off through the trial towards the start-finish line.
These guys in the Sim Racer Club are some of the most patient drivers I have ever seen in a stock car series. They're not going to make any risky moves here on lap 1 or 2. They're going to wait till lap 70, all the way up to the checkered flag to start making those crazy moves and going for the win. They know there's so much more on the line than leading the first lap. Yeah,
it's kind of indicative of what we saw when we carried the Bristol race here, a place where you normally see a lot of impatience and a lot of cautions. We only saw like 6 cautions that entire race, which for a Bristol race, that's actually pretty good. So these guys know how to handle themselves in close quarters, whether short track racing or nose to tail pack racing, like we see right here coming off of corner number 4 down the front stretch here at Talladega.
Still side by side there in the middle of the pack there. Oh, a couple of cars washing up just a tiny bit. It's courtesy of that air displacement from the rear diffuser. It's tossing that dirty air around. So these guys are just doing everything they can. They're hearing where those pipes, the boom pipes, are next to them to see how close the guy is moving up on the lane next to them.
Yeah, you can see some cars getting a little squirrely, getting shuffled below the yellow line. This league doesn't force a yellow line rule.
I think Mike McConnellville looks like he is trying to give up positions down the backstretch. He is on the apron, very gingerly gets back up onto the racing surface, but he did not like where he was, and he wanted to filter back to the back where at least he can have all the action unfold in front of him.
Yeah, but he'll have a better chance at hopefully avoiding a wreck that happens up in front of him. It's not uncommon to see that type of a strategy happen. It's seen commonplace in the NIS Open and Fixed. I've even seen it in a few Carb Cup races as well here.
I've always been a believer of why move to the back and let the action happen in front of you and drive through it. I always like get to the front, stay up there on the pole right where Johnny Avila is, because then the action's going to happen behind you and you don't got to worry about it.
True in some aspects on that one, but most of the time the action happens up front and you don't want to be...
Tim Knott had a bit of a run and decided to pull that one back and tucks back in line. Avila getting loose off corner number 4. Got 2 distinct lines. The second train is being brought up by, is that Wursler?
That is Hunter Waters in
Hunter
the
Waters.
pickle machine. really not in a pickle tonight. He is leading the second line. He's going to jump right behind Johnny Avila and try and push that high line to the lead.
That high line's already working. We can tell here. Like I said, you can run between 2, 3, even if you're crazy enough, you can do 4 wide. The place is big enough here. But looks like there's a bit of a high line that is starting to form. Well, there was a high line for it. Now they go back down to the low line. I think they heard us on that one.
That was a move by WWR. Johnny Avila.
Contact.
Horsler.
Oh, big stack up there in the middle of the pack. Everybody had to check up there. Great driving by these guys to not cause the dreaded big one.
These guys are just racing for stage points now. As we're coming towards the end of the season, they matter more than ever. Johnny Avila is trying to make up spots as he was on his honeymoon at the start of this season, as well as Tyler Seville trying to make up some spots as well. I should see him trucking to the front real shortly. During Hurricane Ian, he had his power taken out for 2 weeks and couldn't join us for racing.
Well, looks like he's doing everything he can to make up those stage points that he lost, and it's working out for him. Still got that line going up on the high side there. Oh, 3 wide. Look at that slingshot pass there. Using a bit of that side draft, but it's pulling him back now.
Here's your top 5 of Via, Waters, Worsler, Digby, and Knott. That is your top 5. Top 4 is pretty broken away a little bit here. Got 5th and 6th side by side at the moment.
Yeah, you can break away, but not by much here, even in a 4-car draft, because that air is going to suck you back down towards this main pack, as we're seeing right here. Oh, big stack up there from Worsler. I don't know what happened there, whether it was a stack up from 2nd place on back or what. Oh, even more of a commotion back there in the middle of the pack. Holy cow.
One thing I saw well executed at East Plate Tracks was Johnny Avila and Tyler Seville both linked up at Daytona earlier in the year and almost got a 2-car tandem going like we used to see in the Car of Tomorrow, and it was really, really effective. They couldn't pull away from the pack, but they could build a bit of a gap and maintain that gap. And that is going to be very important as we move on to the closing stages of the race. That's something you should keep your eye on.
I never thought I'd hear that comeback 10 drafting, especially in the next gen.
We're 7 laps away from the stage break. Well, we will catch a yellow. You'll see everyone dip into the pits. We've been hearing, and it's going to be about 37 to 40 laps on a tank of fuel here. 37 gets you right about to the halfway mark. Tires aren't going to be much of a difference here on this big super speedway, as Justin was telling me in the pre-race.
Yeah, car number 5 there, Roger Rios Matias, got kicked out of the 2nd lane there, got sent to the middle of the pack there off of turn 4. He lost a ton of positions, but I guarantee you, he's probably thinking, that was probably a good idea for me to get kicked out of line, because who knows what's going to happen at this point.
And starting that 2nd line up top. Led there by, I think it's Scott. Yeah, it's Scott Wise on the 99, running that top side there. Right with him in the 36 is the other general, Colton Harvey.
Yeah, we got a. Oh!
Yeah, everyone's getting a little light coming off of corner number 4. Also, through the tri-oval, the back end of these cars get real light, don't they?
Oh, big time. We're seeing a number of these cars get light. Even though the tires barely wear here at Talladega as well as Daytona and Atlanta, like I said, it's that turbulent air that's throwing these cars around to where you're going all over the place. You basically got a handful on you.
Especially on that low line, when you come out of the banking in the corners, it's almost like when you're cresting a hill in your car and you almost feel your stomach turn. That's the same thing that's happening to these cars. And that's why the back end is getting so light, especially when you're in the draft or have someone right on your
big
bumper
stack up there.
you.
Yeah, I think Colton Harvey had a bit of a minute there, a bit of a second. He's back up with the group here, but he is trying to push the 99 of Wise in this 2nd lane up to the front. 5 laps to the stage break.
I think these guys are wanting that stage break right now as it is with how crazy it's been getting. Looks like we got a group of about, at least, I think that's about 8 or so cars on the low line. You got a group of about 8 or so on the high line. There was another one joining them on both ends of the low line and the middle groove there. So some pretty decent action so far with a couple of very, very close calls. Still side by side there in the middle of the pack for about 5th on back. They are just going at it here. Ooh, a bit of a wash up there from 5th place up into, well, 6th place now, up into 5th. Got close there. Somehow they didn't manage to take themselves out.
You can see that tandem draft absolutely working with Hunter Waters on the back of Johnny Avila. Just down these straightaways, they lock up, and they're able to hold that gap, and nobody's able to catch him. In the turns, you can see him backing off a little bit, and field kind of bunches up, and back in the straightaway, they pull away again.
Yeah, they're using the slingshot engage move to their advantage, but it only works so much. But the one thing we sure as hell won't see tonight is that now legendary and controversial Hail Melon move. Because I don't think that would work here at Talladega. It would work on a short track, but not here.
Probably not.
If that Hail Melon move would work here, oh my God.
Riding along inside with A.J. Digby.
Ooh.
He's getting a little loose there on the bottom side. Got a good run on the 29 in front of him. That stacks up behind him.
Yeah, there's a big old stack up on the outside line there. It separated everybody up now. But of course, like I said, with the way this draft is and that rear diffuser, you can close right back up, so you won't lose much like you used to with the Gen 6. Brizzle, I tell you what, this has been some better action than I've seen in the NIS Open Picks in my time running stock cars on here.
Yeah, I'm almost jealous that I'm in the broadcast booth and not on track with these guys. Because usually I go to Daytona or Talladega and like, oh man, it's this week again and we're going to crash. My night's going to be over in 5 minutes. These guys make it look easy. They almost make this kind of racing look like fun.
Yeah, look at it. There's the two on the outside line there. You can just see the second car in line. They're just moving around because of that dirty air. Even though he's staying literally right on the back end of the rear bumper there, it's just that dirty air is just throwing everybody around. I thought it was bad in the Gen 6. It's throwing. It's worse here, but it's putting on some pretty good race. Ooh, some good racing. Oh my God, the closing rate.
Another thing that doesn't help them is these cars, the front and rear bumpers aren't flat, like the back bumper was flat.
Oh, no, they aren't.
So you have basically a pinpoint you have to aim for when you want to bump somebody or push them. Otherwise, you're turning them into a squirrel in front of you.
Top 3 have slowly started to break away. At least that's what it looks like right now. And that top 3 is Avila, Waters, and Wursler.
I see the flagman down here with the stage finish flag in hand, ready to wave it here. And these guys are going to get a much-needed reprieve from some very crazy action, as it has been already.
And now Waters pops out, says, I want to get this stage points, and maybe he did. I think he did. There's your one lead change right there so far tonight here at Talladega. I believe Waters got Avila at the line.
Oh, he didn't.
He did not. Okay.
By 3/1000ths of a second, he still held that over Hunter Waters.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Well, this field will get gathered back up. Drivers will go ahead and make their pit stops. Probably will throw on a set of new set of tires and top off the tanks. And they'll be good for at least the next 37 to 40 laps, barring no cautions. The next stage break of course, is going to be set at, what we got here in the rules, set at 35, but there will be no yellow, just points awarded.
Yep, so we have Johnny Avila going to be your Northland Leisure stage winner for stage number 1. See how he does during the pit lane and see if he can come out on top in stage 2 as well.
Yeah, the one thing these guys are also saying, thank you for this stage break, is they don't have to lock up the brakes and get a speeding penalty going into pit road, because it's pretty easy to get a speeding penalty here when you overcook your brakes going into pit lane.
Yep.
Oh yeah, especially when you're all bunched together pitting as a pack of cars. Even if you hit your marks and you get to that yellow cone at the right speed, the guy behind you might not be, and he might just give you a little bump and push you to speeding, or he might give you a big shunt. At worst, spin you. At best, I guess at best spin you. At worst, wreck you.
Right at the arc of brake you, turn you dead right back into the field, and so it goes, all hell breaks loose, and the big one happens.
And everyone's making that turn down pit road. Not A.J. Digby. He's going to stay out. If you're just joining us, Race First coverage and NRN coverage of the SRC's Premier Series coming to you from Talladega Superspeedway. We've completed now going into lap 18 here of 75. We're at the stage break. Thanks for joining us. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the next race. Everyone hitting their stalls. I see some going up on jacks, not an awful lot. Villa did not go on jacks. He just went fuel only.
I wonder if he's trying to do this whole race on one set of tires. I mean,
Tim Knott went fuel only.
Oh man,
I mean, it's possible.
I know, but I'd rather take tires now while we're under yellow. At worst, you lose a couple spots, you're still in the pack. If under green, your tires start going out and you realize, hey, tires might not be a bad idea, and you pit for green flag pit stops. If you're the only one taking tires, you're going to be hung out to dry and left behind.
Yeah, but the one thing these guys are also taking into consideration, just like at Bristol, Martinsville, and Richmond, it's a track position race, and track position is key here.
Well, while we're under caution, we do have the current standings for the SRC Premier Series. Johnny Villa is your points leader with 393 points, not including what he just won here on the stage break. Kevin Dick is in P2 with 364 points. General Colton J. Harvey, he's there with 354 in third. Will Worsler fourth with 340. Andrew Moore Jr. in fifth with 325. It looks like pretty much most of the top 10 is up for grabs, but Villa has a pretty big lead. At least, I'm not sure how many points you award per race here in your rules, but that's about a 30-point lead. Is that about a half race worth of points right there for how you guys award them?
I believe so. I'm going to have to go back into the rule book and check.
That's a pretty good. That's a pretty good lead. Yeah, that's a pretty good lead. Even with that said, go ahead.
I do believe winning a race is 50 points. So.
Okay, so he's within a race win of Kevin Dick, who is in P2. But let's look at the remainder of the schedule coming up. Of course, this is the November 2nd date at Talladega. Next is Charlotte, then Martinsville, where you get to actually then do the video game move if you choose to do so. Then an off week, Homestead, Las Vegas, and they all round out the season right before Christmas time at Phoenix in the not proper version of the Phoenix Speedway. Anyways, that's the old USAC IndyCar guy venting. But we are lining up to go restart here to get into stage 2. A.J. Digby, who we saw last night in the Formula Indy Series, turning left and right in an Indy car. He did pretty good. He is lining up here on the top side to restart up there. I do see Johnny Avila actually running underneath the yellow line. Now, and when we see that in IndyCar, normally that's when a driver is down there trying to preserve as many precious drops of fuel as possible. And if that is Avila doing that, and he's trying to eke out a longer run than everyone else, bravo to him for taking the shortest route around this track. But we are halfway down the backstretch. Anything, Biz, did you see in that first stint, in that first stage that coming out as a surprise? Any other drivers that have worked their way up that normally you didn't expect to see yet?
Actually, I wanted to comment on Johnny Avila and just add to what he was doing down there under the yellow line. He is probably the most fantastic fuel saver I have ever seen, and that is probably exactly the reason he is doing it. He's the same guy at the 1.5 miles. While leading the race, will completely shut the car off in the turns. Yeah. Not just push the clutch in. Kill the car in the turns, pop the clutch back out, it'll fire back up, just like you would pushing your stick shift car down a hill, and keep on going. And he saved 5-6 more laps of fuel than the rest of the field. It's incredible every week I see it.
Yeah, that's a common tactic on the IndyCar side of things, where you'll see drivers. Of course, when we do restarts, we do single file maintain.
He does that under green.
Yeah, he does. Well, if he does that on the green, that's pretty amazing. So we're getting ready to go to green. Digby's going to bring the field down on the high side, via right underneath him, and we're going to hit that restart zone momentarily. Don't forget that this the start-finish line a little bit further down on Talladega, down the front stretch here, right before getting to turn one. We're in the restart zone, and there goes Digby. Top three are starting the breakaway already. Green flag.
Bit of a good launch there for the top three, but don't count out that second pack behind them. Once they get bunched up, it's probably going to be one hell of a battle. Is it? Oh, already stacking up in the middle of the pack there.
Yeah.
Some icy moves
there.
there.
We got two in contact.
Two cars around on the back. They saved it somehow.
That's Thomas Knott was one of them. And we are still green. We are still green, guys.
Oh, one in the wall.
That is Troy Haight up in the wall. I think he got pushed out of line there because of the situation that was happening on the middle of the backstretch there. Still green, but tremendous amount of positions lost, and he's probably going to have some damage there on that right front wheel. Probably knocked the toe link out or something.
Yeah, but at least he has some drafting partners back there to maybe get in line. Let's see if he's not too damaged. But that has knocked Tim Knott all the way to the rear, where he was up with that lead pack. So he's going to be kicking himself and wanting a caution here momentarily. So let's get back up front here.
Week in, week out, these guys amazing the saves they make. Every single one of these cars should be wrecked after an incident like that. And they're all mint. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Hunter Waters is currently leading this lap, and Avila is going to go ahead and stay right there and push him through. Again, probably working on that fuel mileage again. Digby back to third. Aaron Moore currently moving up in the fourth.
And that second lane has come back, and it's they're doing as much as they can. Ooh, a little bit of side draft there.
Yeah, a lot of side drafting going on. Yeah,
big stack up. Oh my God. I almost have no words for what I'm seeing right now.
It's like these guys are on a local access internet connection. They do not believe in netcode.
Oh, geez, thanks for making me age about 20 years by mentioning LAN events.
Oh, man, what a move for
Colton, the general, the second general there, just drops her on down. As soon as he heard clear, he turned extra hard to the left, brings it down, gets credit for that lap, but a bold move by Colton Harvey.
It was a bold strategy, and it somehow paid off.
Colton Harvey this season, I believe, is running a full season with us, but usually he's just a plate racer and road course ringer, and he shows it every time we show up to one of these tracks. He'll either be all the way up front on a road course or all the way up front here on one of these plate tracks, and he knows what he's good at, and he's real good at it.
Well, Scott Wise pushes Will Wursler back up to the front. Wise drops back to fourth. He's running that top side line at the moment. Coming through the tri-oval.
He almost has that. He almost has the Paul Tracy mentality. You either bring the steering wheel home or you bring a trophy home. And,
Villa found an opening and squeezed in really quickly before A.J. Digby came and shut the door.
Johnny Villa and Hunter Waters going to pair up again. Going to try it on the high side here. Maybe try and pick up Will Wursler on the way. Nope. They're going to leave the boss out to dry, and they're going to drive on right by him.
Yeah, that stacked up the field down the inside line there.
Here's Scott Wise. He's moved that top line back up to the back bumper of Johnny Avila, and they are pushing that line to the front. Wursler gets momentarily moved. We got contact.
Oh, here's the big one.
One car airborne.
Digby involved, Andrew Moore involved, Tony Patton involved, and Roger Rios Matias involved as well.
Oh, and he gets hit again, Moeller. That was insane.
Yeah, but here's the guy rolling up on the scene here that really needed it, Tim Knott.
Yeah.
That is good for him as he was losing time by the handful. But let's get back into what happened. And I believe it started around Andrew Moore in that Ford GT paint job there, and we'll go back on the Wayback Machine here momentarily. We'll probably give Digby a chance to hit pit road as well. He has not hit pit road, but we are watching this again from the perspective.
AJ Digby's not going to be pitting for fuel, I can tell you that much. He hit that wall pretty hard.
Yeah, what I'm seeing, the 5 got shoved out by John Moeller, hit in the back of the left rear bumper / quarter panel, and basically that's all she wrote.
Yeah, it looks like Moore got side-checked there by, I think you're right. You said the 5 there is Roger Rios. Let's try to get a little bit more eye in the sky look here from the drone cam. Watch Rios in the 5. I think he got help from the 83 and collects the 86. 83 is on its side, scooting down the high side there in the tri-oval. But we will see how these cars recover. Hopefully for more, it's just a little bit of fabrication that needs to be made here on these cars, refabrication of some of the fenders and everything. But he hopefully didn't also get a red black flag by going down pit road.
The good thing about these plate tracks is even if you've got aero damage, you might not be able to win the race, but you can still stay in the pack.
Yeah.
When you're in that draft, it doesn't matter what shape your car is in. You could be driving a semi-truck out there. These things move so much air, you'll be able to suck up right behind them and stick with them. Might not be able to pass them, but I'd rather finish second than last.
That's for sure. And to finish first you must finish. Lap 26 of 75 is in the books here. Currently, just a moment ago, everyone from 13th on down was on pit road. Everyone else stayed out. So this still has it a little bit in a fuel race. Or not a fuel race yet. People are still going to have to make another stop, so we're a little ways from possibly a fuel mileage race happening here, but we'll see if we get more cautions. Once again, if you are just joining us, you're watching Race First and NRN's coverage of Round 9 of the SRC's Premier Series, coming to you from Talladega Superspeedway, where Johnny Avila continues the lead with a little bit more than 50 laps, or a little less than 50 laps to go. Thanks for joining us. Make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the next race.
I think Moeller has a little much more to worry about though than the EOL penalty that he was given. What I saw in that wreck, that right rear wheel was breaking loose, if you want to call it.
Okay.
So I think that toe link is, I think that one's knocked out. So his night may be done.
All right, well, let's get everything situated here. Reclassify everybody here for you before we go. Green, your leader is Johnny Avila. Scott Wise there in the 99 is in P2. He has worked his way up 15 spots here to work his way up to P2 there. Kevin Dick is in third. Hunter Waters in fourth. Brad Allison, there's a name that we haven't really brought up a lot today. He is up 8 spots in the 03 up to P5. Will Wursler P6. Colton Harvey, 7th. Thomas Wilhite, 8th. Richard Fletcher is 9th. Daniel Pinkston, another name we haven't talked about. He's up 13 spots. He's up to P10. Joshua Morris in 11th. Tyler Seville, 12th. Andrew Moore Jr., who we saw just involved in that wreck, he is in 13th. Tim Knott, who was not involved in that wreck, but really needed that to happen for him to catch up for the field because he was involved in an incident on the backstretch that separated him from the main pack. He's going to be in an interesting position, guys, because he's undamaged and he's possibly racing around a bunch of damaged cars. So what he really needs to do very quickly is get around those cars before the draft breaks away from those damaged machines. Then we also got Richard Smith II there in the 23 in 15th. Jacob Williams in 16th. Max Williams in 17th. Corbin Simmons in 18th. Mike McConneville in 19th. AJ Digby back to 20th. Roger Rios in 21st. Tony Patton, the general, in 22nd. John Mueller in 23rd. Troy Haight and Oscar Jensen, classified in 24th and 25th, are out of the race.
Yeah, not a good night for those that are unfortunately knocked out of this race. It's definitely going to hurt them in the points battle that they're having.
And somehow, it's John. I'm sorry, not to cut you off. Somehow, John Mueller's car is still rolling after sliding on its side for much of the tri-oval area.
Well, I mean, Chastain's car, he made the final 4 with running along the side of it, so I think John Mueller will be fine.
Yeah, but with Mueller, though, he was sliding on the side of the track and not using the wall to his advantage.
Right.
Wow.
And the pace truck now getting ready to turn the field back over to our leader, Johnny Avila, as he will slowly bring the field down to the restart zone that's just past midway point of the tri-oval. And we are back to racing, going to lap 28 of 75 here at Talladega. SRC Premier Series action getting ready to resume. And he's on it.
Up to the gears they go. It's going to take just a bit, as we saw at the start of the race, as well as after the first stage break. These cars take a bit just to get back up to speed, but once they come back around, it's up to full song, and everybody is going to start making some moves. Well, I spoke too soon, as we see a number of moves already being made. A couple cars throwing themselves down the low line, bit of stack up on both the inside and outside line there. Everybody giving space, though, through that middle there, because Netco can be very, very unpredictable, as we've seen a number of times here in the past. Still side by side as they come off of turn 4 here. It's a battle for third. Up on that outside line, they're getting one heck of a push there. Ooh, pitching down just a tiny bit, using the side draft to his advantage. Not by much, though. Bit of a stack up there, almost 3. Yep, they're going to try and go 3 wide in the middle of the pack there. Almost 4.
They're trying everything they can.
Yeah, whoa, I spoke too soon. They're wrecking in the back again, on the back.
Oh, my God.
And I believe everyone recovered. AJ Digby, Max Williams that were involved in that one again. Digby probably thinks he has a bit of a target on him right now. But he has he's away for the draft, so he's going to have to try to catch back up. Meanwhile, back in this, we got this beehive going on here up at the front where everyone is trying to get back in line, jockeying for position. I still say it's a bit early to be racing super hard at this point, but that's the IndyCar driver in me. I want to wait for that last 10 laps when I would start going kind of hanging everything out. But these guys, they're racing hard every single lap like this is the last one.
This is stock car racing, and if you think they're racing like this is the last one, you just wait until we do get to the last one, because they're going to make this look like sissy stuff.
Now out of the clouds for now. That sun starts coming back out. It's going to heat this track up a bit again, and they're probably going to start sliding around. Oh, almost contact there between third and second place. Now these guys are getting a little too ballsy here. Not what you would want to see, but with the way this car runs, anything goes.
Andrew Moore was side-checked just more than about 5-6 laps ago. He's up in third on the top line, and he's moving back up again. So you were right, damaged cars. If you're in that draft envelope, it is null and void. You are just as good as the next car next to you, who's at 100%.
It's crazy to think that you can run with a damaged car up in the front pack and still be on the lead lap compared to what you used to what it used to be like in the Gen 6.
Remember, we got a stage break coming up. Now, it's not going to be an actual stage break. It'll just be the end of stage 2 at lap 35. So we are now 3 laps away from that. Critical points on the line there. These guys are certainly racing it out. The 52 now has worked his way into the picture. Scott Wise in the 99, pushing him up to the front. Thought about going 3 wide just there momentarily. Wise is sawing at the back bumper of the 52 like he's trying to sand it down.
Yeah, there was another car that was trying to get a third lane going, but he got kicked out to the high side there. He's going to be falling back, but he'll be able to slide into position there, as you can see, right into the outside line there. These guys are still side by side. They're using that side draft to their advantage.
Kevin Dick has managed to work his way to the front, and now he's probably going to credit for this lap. Yes, he does. And he has worked his way up to the front now on the high side. The high line coming in 3 wide, about 4 cars on back.
Going high, wide, and handsome there.
That's Colton Harvey. Maybe he wanted to take a break from it and just settle in.
Probably a wise move on his part, seeing what's going on right now. Or not.
Thomas Wilhite in the 19 now, leading that second line up top. Wilhite up 7 spots from where he started, up now to P2.
Man, look at this racing here. Brizzle, I tell you what, this is even with how crazy as it's been since we've gone back green, it's business has definitely picked up a little too much. But not as chaotic as...
No, we got contact! And the 19 takes out the 41. I'm not! We got 4 cars.
Still wrecking.
We got the 03 involved, the 23 involved, the 11 was involved.
Thomas Wilhite goes for the lead and comes out not leading.
He momentarily went up the racetrack when he went into the turn, and he gave up the bottom side. The bottom side opened up, and it went 3 wide just momentarily. I was looking at it. It's going to go 3 wide. Let's watch this again. Let's try to get a different angle on this here. Because we are under caution. There we go, 3 wide momentarily, and he tried to get to the bottom, and the 52 was there.
That hole closed up too quick for him.
Yeah.
Oh, and then he gets hit hard by the 41. 41 goes helicopter in 360 after that hard hit into the safer barrier there.
Also, not to
Tyler
forget
Seville getting hit, and I'm sure he's going to be asking for a nice strong cocktail after this race is over.
And then to add insult to injury, after Wilhite gets turned, he gets hit again after going straight. Oh, that was those were some hard hits there.
Watch this from high above the timing and scoring tower here. Let's see how this all involves. There it goes. Top two cars get away basically unscathed. Everyone, if they haven't, from pretty much the second or third car on back, if you haven't used your fast repair, well, you're using it now. And the field is being collected. Andrew Moore is your leader.
If they pit now, as they all are,
they can make it.
They can make it to the
end.
They can make it.
They can make it to the end on if we go all green. Yep. And that's with a little to spare. Now, if we go green, white, checker, they need to really conserve under this caution here as much as possible just to take into account a possible green, white checker. But we watch cars on pit road. Andrew Moore is going to bring the field off pit road. Got John Moeller getting back, I believe, his lap there. Corbin Simmons coming out second. Colton Harvey third. McConneville fourth. Johnny 99. Worsler the 29. Hunter Waters in the 7. Kevin Dick in the 52. Kevin Dick still on pit road. He's probably getting some fiberglass and sheet metal pounded out. There we go. Yep. As he was involved so slightly in that wreck, and he was just filling the hole, so to speak. And the driver came down on him, and he kind of had nowhere to go.
I'm gonna use a couple of phrases that Wally Dallenbach Jr. and the late great Benny Parsons said during the 2006 UAW Ford 500 here at Talladega on the NBC broadcast. The pin has been pulled from the hand grenade. We just don't know how long the fuse is. Well, we know how long the fuse was.
And we still might have enough cars left in the field. It might be a frag grenade.
It may be a belt full of frag grenades. But that remains to be seen.
Well, guys, folks, everyone at home, if you like what you see here tonight, mark your calendars for something that will truly, you'll have to see to believe. Join us at Raceverse this Monday as the official iRacing Indy Fix Series will be right here at Talladega all next week. That's right. IndyCar pack racing with speeds in excess of 250 miles per hour. What can go wrong? Join Raceverse coverage starting this Monday at 8:15 p.m. Eastern time on Monday night, so you don't miss out on any of the action. You can go to youtube.com/Raceverse, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell so you won't be left behind, so you can bear witness to one of the true rarities of any type of racing, Indy cars at Talladega. That's this Monday night.
It may not have been so rare, though. USAC IndyCars did do a test here. They decided it would not be safe, but
yeah, that is very true. There was the 1980 USAC schedule, and this is in the middle of the first IndyCar split, the USAC kart split. There was a race actually scheduled to be here. I'm not sure what degree of testing was done. Now, I actually hit up NASCAR Man to see if he had any other quips or any type of knowledge to drop on me about any cars or open wheelers at Talladega. The only open wheel race ever to be at Talladega was an IMSA Formula Ford series that they had pretty much when it was still known as Alabama Speedway or Alabama Superspeedway. But there is a rumored, ironically, this is a driver that makes me think this is more urban legend than anything. Rumored urban legend of Newman Haas bringing Nigel Mansell here to test. Now, that just doesn't jive well with me, considering Nigel, of course, is former Formula One world champion. He's noted for his road course. Picked up the oval skill set when he came to IndyCar racing, liked it, but I just don't see him coming to a place like Talladega and really wanting to test 100% here because of the risk Because back then, if you're talking 93 Indy cars, I mean, they had nowhere near the safety innovations that they have in the modern day Indy car back then. I see that more of an urban legend. I don't know if there was any proof or anything to that, but that's what NASCAR Man passed along to me. So it's probably a good thing that IndyCar never came here. But if you want to see what it's like for IndyCar to race here, check us out Monday, 8:15 on RaceFirst at racefirst.com, or actually, youtube.com/RaceFirst, and you can see firsthand what the madness might be like if IndyCars were ever to come here.
Well, they did hold the estate auction of Newman Haas Racing, and there was a piece there. There was a date scheduled for a test, but the test never happened.
Okay.
Something funky going on here. I wonder if we got a bunch of penalties or something. Going green again.
Yeah, we got pretty much a
file.
single file restart, with the exception of the 52 on the outside.
I know what happened. They all pit while pits were closed, take an extra splash of fuel.
That's probably a gamble worth it, and especially with the pack race, probably not a bad idea. And now we have everyone single file in line. Okay, here comes the 52 popping out. I was getting ready to say, are we going to behave now for the next 30 laps or so before we really start to spread back out and go racing? But nope, they are popping back out midway down the backstretch.
Not a chance they behave. They are race car drivers.
Come on. You know me, Gary. I'm running the iRacing IndyCar series. Patience? Especially on a big oval like Indianapolis or Talladega?
Hey, I survived 2 IndyCar races, one at Daytona and one at iRacing Superspeedway. I think we would have combined 150 laps between the 2 races, and we didn't have any yellow flags. And all we did, because both races were set because there was a massive fuel conservation going on. Most of us rode in line for a good portion of the race. But I figured maybe we'll see some of that. But it is possible to be patient and still race a single file and go race for it at the end. But looks like the 52 is filtered all the way on back to the back there.
I will one-up your iRacing Superspeedway Indy cars with that exact same combo. I wrecked Haley Deegan. So I can say I beat a NASCAR driver at an IndyCar race on iRacing.
Okay, all right.
She turned herself on my nose, just to clarify that.
And the 52 has decided to go all the way back to the back. Interesting.
Oh, look at that run. Look at that run on the outside. That's the 5. That's the 5 for...
Yeah, the 5 we saw involved in that last wreck. He got his fast repair, and he is on the bottom now. We got the 8 and the 11 who were also involved in that last wreck side by side. They're kind of losing ground to the 5 and the 36 that are starting to pull away.
Yeah, this pack is definitely broken up.
Here comes the 8. Here comes the 8. A little bit of a checkup.
AJ Digby checking in the comments.
Holy!
Saying, feels like the same 3 people causing 80% of the wrecks at these races. It seems like a little frustration. Maybe some people are getting a little too aggressive here.
Well,
I would agree.
You tell me, because you know these guys vastly need us league best. I mean, what type of incident system do they have? I mean, are people actually penalized? Were they? And that the 2 storms to the front and that bright pink nose down the backstretch with the 8 on his tail. Wow, he made quick work of that. He was working that high line all the way since the restart. But what's the incident system here like? Are drivers actually penalized for that stuff, or it's just everything's chalked up to it's racing?
I'm not sure so much penalized, but I know there's definitely coaching that goes on. You know, hey man, you're driving a little aggressive. Kind of like the thing Ross Chastain's gotten this year. Hey, you're going a little too aggressive. Just turn it from 11. Just kick it back to 10.
Yeah. Yep.
This is, as it says in the name, Sim Racers Club. It has a very club atmosphere. Even though drivers might get heated during the races and during incidents, they're all at the end of the day still friends. And this is one of the best things I love about this league is, you'll have an incident after the race. The drivers will talk it out. You're not going to get any flaming of drivers. You're not going to get any fighting. It's all, hey, you could have done this to avoid this. Yeah, I probably could have. And everyone moves on and has fun the next week.
Gotcha. Very open atmosphere. If you like the sound of that, make sure to search them out on iRacing, and you too can join the series. We have 2 packs that have separated here. The first pack, which is 2 back to the 99. That's first through 12. And then we have Tyler Seville in the 11, who's leading the second pack, and that's along with Hunter Waters, who we saw up in the front. There's a couple of guys that we saw at the front in this second group. Also, Wursler and Kevin Dick. So I think these guys are going to run the back here and let the first group of these top 12 slug it out and possibly remove.
Look at the highlight.
Yep, work on the
highlight.
highline. Here comes
General.
86. Yep, Tony Patton. Generals charge up north.
I believe that's Colton Harvey behind him as well.
The March of the Generals.
Who'd have thunk it? Looks like their march got stalled out there just a tiny bit.
And we'll see what they get like on the high side going down this super stretch, getting that big run.
Ooh, somebody's bouncing up off that yellow line there.
57 bouncing off that yellow line a little bit. We like to say here,
another yellow.
like we'd say with the race first, apron bad.
Racing surface good. Apron bad.
Apron bad.
Yellow line, do not touch.
The apron's paved. I say let him run it.
Oh, and Colton left his fellow general out to dry on the high side. He is going to fall back. He might have help from a slower car there to get back in the mix of things here. Also got Wursler and I'm not sure who that other car is coming up with him. It's the 707 of Josh Morse. There it is. So they will pick back up that second group up top, giving himself a little extra room against the 43. 43 looks like he's running a little dented up top, trying to stay out of everyone's way, doing a pretty good job of it.
Yeah, he's doing all he can to basically hang on to that car with the amount of damage that he has. But it looks like everybody has decided to go break out that single file choo-choo train.
Yeah, I was wondering it would have been time to this, because that's generally the telltale sign of we are fuel conserving. Everyone goes down low, takes that low line, shortest line around the racetrack, and tries to save as much fuel by lifting just a hair at the end of each one of these stretches.
I think it's also called we don't want to cause any more yellows, specifically big wrecks. So let's just run the qualifying line at the bottom and just stay there until, what do you say, 5 to go?
Yeah, at least. No more stages. This is it, stage 3. This is for all the marbles here at Talladega Superspeedway.
I think I spoke too soon on that single file choo-choo train, because there's a group of 3 that's up on the high side.
Josh Morris again, and coming with Will Wursler right with him. And the broken, let's see, that is the 43, the broken 43. He is laps down, but he's along for the ride.
I think he said, you know what, I got nothing else to lose. I might as well just help these guys get up to the front. And, oh my God, hope I don't get caught up in another wreck.
That is Richard Fletcher. He's going to be a team player. He's one of the WWR guys. So if Johnny Vila needs some help, says, hey, I need someone to drop down in front of me, let's make a push to the front. Richard Fletcher, even though he's a couple laps down, being a team player, he'll drop down there. He'll help Johnny Vila push his way back up to the front. And with all the guys in that team, it might not be Johnny he's helping, but right now he's on Will Wursler's bumper trying to push him up to the front.
Yeah, a group of 4, literally a group of 4 of 2 wide, 4 rows deep.
And they have worked their way up to the front, now move Josh Morris to the lead.
Yeah, but how long is he going to be able to stay in that lead? Well,
He's going to, the 8 wasn't sure how quickly he was going to come to the bottom there.
That door's there.
Squeezing it in.
Yes, he did.
Wow.
That's a 2. That's a 2. Sorry, that's Jacob Williams. You got the Williams in 3rd and 4th there, the 2 and the 8.
Not affiliated with Williams Esports?
Formula One.
I mean, well, they have a Coke Series team, so why not come and expand into Sim Racing Club? You never know.
Might as well. Josh Morris now your new leader with Will Wursler right behind him. Coming to starting lap 49 of 75 very shortly, a little more.
Oh, stack up in the back. Couple of cars up in the grass. They saved us somehow. We're still green.
Try to get the camera back there fast enough. Giving everyone a little extra room. Now we're back single file, bottom line, all the way around.
I think he might have spoke too soon on that.
Oh, no,
one.
we still got the 5, or the, what is that? Can't see all these numbers. I think that's the 03.
No,
23.
And he's got somebody else up in front of him that was...
But the 23 is 8 laps down, so he is just hanging on here. Maybe get the lucky dog. And everyone's on the lead lap from 1st to 18th. 19th and 20th are the first 2 cars laps down. Albeit they are 8 laps down. They would get the lucky dog.
If we get another yellow.
If we get another yellow, yep.
But yeah, everybody is pretty much decided to say, okay, we're just going to settle down, go into fuel conservation mode, like you said, and just hang out until 5 or so to go, and then we'll all go for it.
And Richard Fletcher with that damaged 43 doing a pretty good job at maintaining pace there on the high side with this lead pack.
Yeah, and he's pulling 3rd place with him.
That's Daniel Pinkston. We haven't really talked much about him. He's up 21 spots there in the 22, up to P2.
Well, make that up to the lead now.
Up to the lead with the help of a lapped car down to the bottom. 22, your new leader. Less than 25 laps to go here at Talladega.
That's one huge advantage with this rear diffuser. You can definitely pull the guy behind you up, especially if they're trying to go for the lead and they don't want to hang out in the pack, so to say.
So now Richard Smith and Richard Fletcher now. Both these cars are fighting for that lucky dog position. They are leading this pack, albeit 7 laps down. Oh. And they are racing pretty hard in front of these leaders. I don't know how etiquette is here in this league, but I can see these leaders probably getting their heartbeats up a little bit, watching these lap cars try to bring this train around.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to have that happen in front of you because you don't know how, with the unpredictability of this car, let alone the unpredictability of super speedway racing at Talladega, you're just hanging on for dear life and hoping to God something does not go wrong.
Yeah, watching lap cars battle it in front of you, that's another variable you don't want to see. But at the same time, some of these guys who've been sitting here, it might give them inspiration to get a high line going and try and take the lead for themselves.
Yeah, but the question is, how long would that high line last, though, before the engines start overheating?
I don't think overheating's been a big issue with this car. I believe you can push right on the bumper for a while and not have to worry about it. It's one of the benefits of the Gen 7 car.
I guess I'm still used to seeing grill tape on the front of the cars. That's probably just the former driver and me talking.
Pinkston, Morris, Wise, your top 3. This car leading the pack here is not on the lead lap. 23 also not on the lead lap, but they're involved with this lead battle. 23 breaks out wide now to let the leaders group up.
John Moeller on the high side there. No factor at all. Wow. That was tight there. Made it through somehow. Nice, clean, safe and effective. But these lap cars, I tell you what, this is not the type of racing you would typically see.
Well, I will say for Richard Smith, the Canadian there in the Toyota, he is trying to stay high and giving the hole there to the leaders behind him. But right now he is moved into that number 2 position in this lead pack and is all over the back bumper of Richard Fletcher. Meanwhile, Daniel Pinkston, did he maybe lift a little bit to give those guys some room in front of him? Because there's some, they have now kind of pulled away a little bit.
Possibly.
I mean, it's not going to hurt his fuel mileage any.
No, it won't hurt his fuel mileage at all.
I mean, it's going to really only help things. That's what I'm getting ready to say, is that these guys could be running as much or as little as 80% down the end of the back straight. That's how much the draft is pulling you along.
Yeah, I'm hearing a bit of tension going over the radio chatter between the lead lap car and the car up ahead.
At 83 now, who is actually at the very tail end of the lead lap right now. Normally, where we come from, racing etiquette, you're given, if you're trying to stay in the lead lap, you're given a lot of leeway. You're allowed to race for that. And he has got up top there, pulling Scott Wise. And he's going to pull probably Scott Wise to the front. Wise now going to leave him out to dry, go to the bottom, could have blocked on Richard Rios. And put Scott Wise back to the front. Rios second, Daniel Pinkston third, Joshua Morris fourth. Will Wursler has worked his way back up to the front in now P5. They're in that orange 29.
Yeah, what I'm seeing here, guys, the intensity. The intensity is picking up in both good and bad ways.
A lot of guys we saw at the front in those first couple of stints, in those first couple of stages, specifically back in P12. Johnny Avila just kind of riding along very, very calmly back here. Joining him is the General Tony Patton, Andrew Moore in P14, also in that battle right there, just kind of riding along.
Yeah, these guys are all waiting for the right moment to jump in, make that move. I almost want to put, a couple dollars down and say maybe lap 65, 10 to go, we start seeing these guys double file up again and really start going for the win. Right now, they're just kind of settled in, letting laps tick by.
Wise actually pulling away a little bit by 0.2 of a second over Mateus. And that's Roger Rios Mateus, sorry. And the number 5, again, showing me kind of signs of fuel conservation here.
Not only that, that's a strategy I like to pull when I'm sitting in second at these plate tracks, is I'll check up a little bit. I'll pull off the gas, trail some brake, let that leader get away. Because that allows me to throw my foot down, sit in their draft, really build up a huge run against them, and pass them like a freight train if they were standing still.
We are riding along inside the number 5, and yeah, you can kind of hear it. He's not at 100% throttle.
He's my guess for what it sounds like, from what I'm hearing, sounds like he's about maybe 80 to 85% of the throttle. Yeah,
hey,
definitely. He's definitely gone into fuel-saving mode because he's also trying to pull the guys behind him as well, between 3rd, 4th, 5th on back, to say, "Come on, guys, we basically got the leader in a sitting duck position, but let's just wait until we clear the lap down car ahead of us before we try and make a move."
And the 83 getting to the bottom, going to pit lane. That is maybe a scheduled pit stop there.
I was going to say, if the 83 and leader get together, they could start running away from this pack. But now Roger Rios is being a sitting duck as well. And it looks like Colton Harvey's looking at
Colton Harvey blows him away. So, yeah, that's just a sure sign.
Look at this. Here comes the other general, Tony Patton.
Oh, and they're going to check up behind Scott Wise.
No.
Andrew Moore is going to make up 5-6 spots now on the field, running on the high line by himself. Johnny Avila shoots up top. Is he going to try and make a move with Andrew Moore?
Coming to 15 to go this time by. The intensity is starting to break through the roof just slightly. Now they're going 3 wide, 2 rows deep. Big stack up here. Oh, they come
Watch
in
for a
contact.
second.
Oh,
And they saved it. Oh!
that's one of the Williams.
I call it the intensity was starting to break through the roof. Well, that was part of it right
Jacob
there.
Williams, hold on to it, buddy. Hold on to it, buddy. Hold on to it, buddy. Now the bad news is you lost the draft. The good news is your car's in one piece. Your tires are a little
Wrecked
shredded.
the car 8 times, and every body panel on that thing's still straight.
Okay, let's give you a real quick rundown of what we got for fuel mileage here. So we got more Avia, Williams, Wursler, Corbin Simmons, and McConneville. Simmons. So from Simmons, Williams, Wursler, Avia, and more, they are all 24 laps of their current stint. If someone's not fuel saving, it could be Brad Allison. He is 25, or actually he might be really fuel saving. He has 25 laps under his current stint. So he has gone 1 lap longer. So these guys now if we look a little bit further back in the pack, actually Tony Patton, the general, might have a shot at this. He is 24 now into his 25th lap of the stint. So if we're counting precious drops, these cars a little bit further back that have gone shorter since that last stop, they're going to have more fuel to make it to the end. We'll see.
Yeah, but the one thing they're hoping that does not come out that we almost had, not once but twice, is a caution. As here comes John Mueller on the low side there. Oh, everybody scattering to the high side to avoid him. But he stays down low. Oh, almost comes back up into the track, and everybody clears.
He's good. He is good. Everyone was good. Everyone's behaved. Coming to...
That's what Page should have done.
Yeah, definitely. He pulled the better LePage and not the one everybody knows.
Max Williams edges ahead in the 8 to the lead down the backstretch. McConneville in the 57, right next to him, pushing him to the front. The 10 of Corbin Simmons up 21 spots, now 22 spots as he moves up to P2, side by side off of 4.
Yeah, third and fourth place there almost made contact coming off of turn 4. There they somehow managed to give each other space, but that could have been worse. Come to what is it? I believe it's 13 to go this time by.
Yes, sir. I believe you'd be correct. 13 or 12 to go. I'm not very good at math, so I don't start doing that math till about lap.
Okay, so we have 13 to go, right? And Max Williams is on 27 laps into his current stint. So if we do the math, that puts him right at 40 laps for this stint. That is the extreme range of these cars. If we go green, someone's stretching it.
I guarantee you, he's probably thinking Alexander Rossi, just clutch and coast.
Clutch and coast, baby.
And people said that type of strategy would never work in the Indy 500, and well, it got proven wrong. I've seen it happen a number of times on iRacing as well.
Hey, I was at that race. I remember listening to that car go by us in the closing laps there, in the last 2 laps when he was out front, and it was literally making no noise. It's like kind of go by and it goes whoosh because he's using no power.
It basically almost like he kicked into the hybrid side. Just go full electric on it.
That's the next generation of IndyCar that we'll see here soon. But in the meantime, we're watching the next gen of NASCAR right now. At the front, could we be witnessing a fuel mileage race? If we do not go yellow for the remainder, and I just jinxed it, but if we do not go yellow, we are looking at a possible fuel mileage race. Precious drops of fuel are trying to be saved by these drivers. They're going to be at the extreme window, the extreme length. 40 laps is what these drivers were telling us that a stint could be. And we will be right at that extreme length window at the checkered flag coming to the finish here. 65 of 75, coming to 10 to go.
Coming off of turn number 2 there, they're still side by side, at least 5 rows deep. and there's a bit of a big stack up on the inside line there. No harm, no foul. But that outside line is definitely starting to come into effect as they come off of 4.
Here comes Johnny Avila. You're seeing him back in the picture. We told you he was just kind of hanging out in the back. Now all of a sudden the top lines come alive. He's that third car in line up in the top line. Why is the 99 going to run the middle, thinking about going down low to block the bottom? The top was already past him. Cannot go there. Now he's stuck in the middle.
Yeah, he got hung out to dry. He got put in the sucker hole there. Ooh, still
look at Hunter up top there in the pickle car. He is all of a sudden run right up with Tyler Seville in the 11. Watch this top line. They are all hooked up. They are all revved up. They are all wound up.
Yeah, but they got a lap down car up on the high side there. They have to be very, very careful how they get around, especially with cars on the low line. Another car up on the high side now. Still side by side.
Oh,
Three
yeah.
wide. It's going to be momentarily.
Yeah, and I think that was Richard Smith, I think. And, he actually rubbed the wall a little bit to making sure he was out of everyone's way. But we are now in the 10 lap to go battle here toward the end. And, Biz, you said you called it, man. You're throwing down some money, and I think you said about 10 to go.
Yeah, they're going to get pretty wild here.
Oof. Big check up there for the number 5 of Roger Rios Matias on the inside line as they come off of turn 2. Loses the draft momentarily, but he's got it back. He's going to be able to slingshot his way back towards that pack. As the group is still side by side as they come off of turn 4 here. They're trying to get that outside line going. Now here's where where desperate moves are about to be made, where anything can go as we come towards 6-5 to go at least. Oh, now they're in a big group here. They're in a big group, Gary. It's getting dicey.
More to the front, drops to the bottom, picks up that bottom line. Now he picks up the top line.
He's going to see if he can get a little bit of help there.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of help right now from the 29. 29 is pushing him down. 29 now drops. It's going to leave the 77 out. Drops to the bottom. 29 to the front.
Yeah, he's probably going to be there momentarily, though, because that 77 has got help on the outside line there from a group of about at least 5 other cars that are going to help him get back towards the front.
Moore trying the side draft to keep with this group.
Oh,
Avila right with him.
A story we've seen before. A guy who used to hate this car leading at a plate track with his teammates shortly behind. Will he come out on top again, or will some of his teammates wreck him again?
8 nudges him a little bit.
Oh, man! 3 wide on the bumper.
Now it's going to turn everything 3 wide in the back as people check up.
Yeah, they were beating and banging there. They somehow managed to not wreck each other. I don't know how they did, but it's single file up on the high line now. But here comes 3rd and 4th. They're going to go to the low line to see if they can get past 2nd and 1st.
77, we saw him sideways in one of the first cautions going down pit road. He is now your leader, 63 of Avila, your points leader. The leader of the first 2 stages, he's up in the front, and the 11, who was involved in one of the bigger ones, incidents that happened today, he's all repaired, and he's all of a sudden in 3rd. And here comes Hunter Waters. He's been up in the front all day. He is now in the 5th spot with the 8 car running up high with Max Williams, bringing that top line up with him.
Colton on the low line there, forcing his way through towards the front, but it's going to stall him out just a tiny bit. He had to check up on that low line.
And now they're going to approach the lap car of, not lap car, but a slow car of Jacob Williams. Jacob, unfortunately, was caught in an incident that he lost the draft, and now he's going to get freight trained. Roger Rios riding the bumper of the 8, pushing that group up to the front. Here comes Scott Wise again with that group up top. Scott Wise likes that top line. He's been working that all day long.
Oh, that was a close moment there coming up at turn 4, basically using side draft to the maximum effect that you can get. Five to go, and here's where everybody decides to say, damn the teammates, I'm going for myself. I'll use a little bit of help, but once I get that help and get past the leader, I'm dropping down and leaving him hanging out to dry.
Right, and we have another lap car that's coming up to this group here. 8 slams the door on the 99 down low. That was really close.
Yeah,
Andrew Moore, Johnny Avila looking on top. Are they going to get it coming out of turn 4?
Yeah, they are.
New leaders.
And they are approaching the general, Tony Patton, who's trying to stay on the lead lap, and he's not going to be there very long. He's going to stay down low.
Look at Colton the Harvey.
Oh, Colton. Oh, my gosh. What a great move.
Wow. But he's going to get caught right there on the low line with the general of Tony Patton. It's going to be close.
And he just had to work his way up. He had to work his way up. The 57 really didn't have to lit him up, and the 57 lit him up.
They're 4 wide back there.
4 wide momentarily, but now we got a battle for third, maybe even second and first, as everybody is scattering to the wind to figure out what they can do to get towards the front to get past the number 77.
In chat says, I don't think they can keep it clean. We shall see. We're getting...
I don't think so either.
We'll see. Via all over the bumper. It's just sawing at the bumper of Andrew Moore.
My spidey senses are tingling. I'm sensing a caution. I'm sensing some overtime coming here shortly.
Well, if we go overtime and they decide not to pit, they're going to be tight on fuel. 37 laps.
Oh, yeah.
We are in the window. We are in the window of where the extreme limit of where these cars can go fuel wise. 37 to 40 laps.
Got another run. Try to go on the outside line here as we get ready to come to 2 to go. Popsicle sticks in the air. Oh, good battle. Good battle. Oh, my God. The desperation move. And we just got a pretty funny radio transmission of I almost crapped my pants there making that move.
Mike McConville absolutely sending it. Andrew Moore leading the bottom line. Johnny Avila leading the top line.
Now that third car in line on the bottom is a lap down.
Oh,
Andrew
here we go.
Moore
They're going to split them. They're going to split them.
Avila out to dry.
Oh!
Avila in the wall.
Each other.
And they all save it.
But that stacks everybody up, and it's a conglomerate of cars here. It's scattering into the wind, and a lead change out of nowhere. The 77 was not hoping for that to happen, and unfortunately it did.
Johnny Avila hung out to dry. Hunter Waters shooting to the bottom. Oh my, I've never seen racing like this before.
Hunter Waters gets shuffled down underneath the yellow line. He's back in line.
Why is going to be leading the race?
Tony Patton still involved here, as well as Jacob Williams. White flag in the air. Oh, 2 cars into the race.
They're going to stay green, though.
We are staying green. We're going to stay with the action. 99, 5, 7, 36. They're all in the running for this win.
Here comes Hunter Waters.
Hunter Waters taking a look down low.
Oh, they're wrecking. There they go down low.
Hunter Waters.
I have never seen this much chaos in my life.
Colton Harvey following behind him. I don't think he's close enough to make a move.
I don't think he's going to be able to get up to him, though.
Hunter Waters is going to survive the carnage of the last lap and win at Talladega.
I think I need to go find an oxygen tank after that one.
And the green car brings good luck today here in northern Alabama.
Well, usually Hunter Waters does something I could say, well, man, he's in a pickle, make a stupid joke about it. But he was not in a pickle tonight. He ended up getting the win. That was fantastic.
And I don't think he's let off the accelerator. He might be wanting to make one more lap just to make sure he gets that one in. Here comes Colton Harvey. He's going to pull alongside. And a salute to the winner there. Harvey finishes second. 2 little Little door bump love there at the end.
And as always, a Will Worcester racing car wins this race. All of Will Worcester Racing is going to celebrate here tonight. They win as a team, they celebrate as a team, they race as a team. You're going to see them all line up on the checker flag, too. It's going to be fantastic.
I think for the post-race interviews, I'm going to let Gary and Brizzle take over because I'm going to go find myself an oxygen tank and get some air back in my lungs. That was it. That was incredible.
Well, let's take a look at the final stats here, and we will even put the difference that it took there to get them home here, if we can see that here. Here's your final results. And no, we'll just read it off from our other timing and scoring. But Hunter Waters is your winner by 0.072 over Colton Harvey. Brad Allison comes in third. Roger Rios Mateas finishes fourth. Johnny Avila, the points leader, in fifth. Scott Wise, sixth. Mike McConneville, seventh. Corbin Simmons, eighth. Tyler Seville, ninth. Andrew Moore Jr. Fortunately was among the leaders right there at the very end and got shuffled out and finishes 10th. Kevin Dick, 11th. Will Worsler, 12th. Daniel Pingston, 13th. Jacob Williams, 14th. And Joshua Morris, 15th. And I don't want that. I want this. Here we go. Tony Patton, 16th. Mac Williams, 17th. Moeller, 18th. Smith, 19th. Yep. Fisher, 20th. And the remainder of your field, not Wilhite, Digby, Haight, Jensen, and Barry, round out your 26-car field here at Talladega as donuts are being made on the front stretch.
As I get some fresh air from the oxygen tank that was just brought up into the booth here, I in all my years of running in the NIS fix, when it comes to chaotic races at Talladega, this one was the most chaotic, and it wasn't even an official series race; it was a league race.
These guys are utterly professional. They know what they're doing. They're going to go full send, and they're going to put on a show every single week. Even at Pocono, these guys are fantastic. Every time I go to Pocono, I go, oh, man, this is going to be boring. These guys put on a show there. Same thing here at Talladega. Same thing next week at Charlotte and the following in Martinsville. These guys are going to put on a show for y'all.
Well, right now we got only Colton Harvey so far in the waiting room. We can also bring up here, Brad Allison's around. We'll bring him in, and Hunter Waters will bring him in. Normally they come to the waiting room, at least they do for when we cover. I don't know if Patrick or Biz, if you want to pull them on up if they are ready, you can pull them on up if you want to. Bring up if Allison is ready. We'll talk to third place here first. And, well, let's see. He's with his team still.
Probably going over a post-race debrief.
Yeah, no, there he is. He's in the waiting room. Let's bring him on up. There he is. Hey, Brad, you're on mute. Now you're off mute. Man, what a last lap. All sorts of bowling pins falling down around you. Almost of a turn left, turn right, turn left, turn right. And you made it to the end there and finished third. What was that last lap like?
I didn't know if I was going to get wrecked by the car spinning around me or if I was going to run out of fuel. It was just foot to the floor and just hold on and hope.
Well, how close were you on fuel? We figured everyone was really close there at the end.
I ran out of fuel doing the burnout. Yep.
Okay. Just as we figured, 40 laps of the extreme range. So how long were in the middle of that stint when everyone was kind of running in single file, that was everyone kind of making a conscious decision to calm things down and try to conserve some fuel? I mean, how many laps did you have to run like that in order to save to get to the finish?
I think we did about 23 laps. I think it was like at half throttle nearly. It was really slow. But every time I tried to put the foot in it a bit, it went straight to the red and not going to make it. So yeah, it was pretty restricted.
Biz, Justin, you guys got any questions for him?
What did you think of those last few laps? What was going on inside of your head? Just the craziness that we saw.
Exactly. It was just crazy. That's what it was. Really, I took on just got to try and avoid this, just watch the cars and we're down below the line and we're getting jostled up and down. It was fantastic fun.
Hell yeah. Well, if you need a couple puffs from the oxygen tank, I think Justin's hogging it. But you can go over there and he's got one up in the booth and you can take a couple huffs and get yourself calmed down because that was one hell of a finish.
It was, and I was holding my breath for about the last 4 laps, truly.
Hey, Brad, and also, it's got to be. But what time is it in your neck of the woods? It sounds like you're. It says you're Club Australia, New Zealand. So it sounds like you're from that part of the world. What time is it there? And did you ever, when you get, especially in these races where you're pack racing like this, do you ever have the fear of netcode ever rearing its ugly head because of how far away you race compared to the U.S. servers?
I do. You've got to be careful of netcode, especially like I'm in Australia. When the car in front or beside is wobbling, left or right a bit, that's when a netcode will occur. It's not so much front to back. It's more so, up and down.
Okay.
Left and right.
Well, congratulations. I mean, you survived a heck of a battle, especially there on the last lap, and did it all while saving fuel. I'm sure you got some folks that you want to make some shout-outs to, some teammates, sponsors, friends, family. So go right ahead and make those shout-outs. You earned it here with a podium finish at Talladega.
Yeah, well, a big thank you to the Sim Racing Club, of course, and my sponsor, Jordan Barry, who's been my long-term sponsor for a lot of years. So I appreciate him standing by me the way he has year after year. And thank you to you guys for the broadcast, and thank you to Will Warsler Racing. I'm new to the team. I only got inducted or abducted, whichever way the guys want to say it, a couple of weeks ago, and it's been great fun.
Well, congratulations on your abduction, and we will actually, the rest of the NRN crew will pick back up coverage at the next race at Charlotte, and they will see you there. Congratulations on the podium. Go celebrate.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it very much. Thanks all.
And let's bring up General Colton J. Harvey here, the second general in the lineup, Colton J. Harvey. Colton, you are on mute right now, so we can ask a question. There he is. He comes off of mute. Your thoughts on that last lap for the ages?
Oh, it was a very fun last lap. I had a lot of fun dodging cars and getting up there, driving through the field, and getting around these wrecks. It was a lot of fun. Congrats to Hunter.
How close were you on fuel?
I had, I can't even see. I think I had a gallon left. That was pretty good. I didn't think I had another few laps.
Okay. Justin, Patrick, Justin, Biz, you guys got any questions?
Yeah. Did you think you had anything for Hunter Waters there coming around after turn 4? Were you trying to suck up on him, try and make a move, or were you kind of just content where you were and going, this is where we're going to finish, kind of just hold it right there?
No, I was not content of where I was.
Like a good race car driver.
I thought I was going to be able to get up to him. I had a car next to me side drafting me. And I couldn't get to the leader, and I thought that car was on the lead lap, and he was not. I had a lap car slow me down for no reason other than just to be up there. I guess he just wanted his TV time, but he slowed me down and cost me a chance at drag racing to the line with Hunter.
Oh man, well, that's always rough when that happens. Maybe you should have gave him a little tag and said, hey, let's work together. Get me the win, man.
No, he decided just to stay up there with the lead lap cars, race the lead lap cars all the way up to the final lap, and really change the outcome of this race. And he was really up here. He had no reason being up here. And Sam told lap cars, show respect to leaders, and this guy didn't show any respect, lacked logic, lacked respect, and I will remember that going forward.
I always say racers have long memories. They always remember the people that work with them, and then the people that don't work with him. So it's always on a cyclical wheel here. Comes around, goes around in any type of racing, whether it's our favorite IndyCar or the NASCAR Cup Series that we just saw here. We saw you race real hard at Bristol a couple weeks ago. We're glad you got a chance to make it up here in the booth to talk to us. I'm sure you got some people, some sponsors that you want to make some shout outs to. So go right ahead. You earned this P2. Go ahead and thank everybody you need to.
Thanks to the guy. Thanks to Sam for running the league. Thanks to all sponsors that sponsor the league. Yeah, and I don't really have a sponsor except for Ron Johns on my car. So yeah, thank you to Ron Johns for riding along with me.
Well, you got it. Congratulations on the P2. Go celebrate, and the rest of the league will see you in a week at Charlotte.
Yep, I'll go.
All right, let's bring up the winner, Hunter Waters. And I've been told when we bring them up that they are on mute, so they come off mute when they come to the center. Hey, Hunter, congratulations. You bring the green car to victory lane. You were with the leaders pretty much. You were lit with Via pretty much. You were his fifth wheel, so to speak,
Yes.
for the first two stages. Fell back to the back, probably was doing some fuel conservation there, and that last stint, that last stage, worked your way back up to the front, managed to get around that incident really there as we were kind of on the white flag lap. You broke away, you had the lead, you held on for the win. Congratulations. Let's talk about that last lap first, and then next of all, how much fuel did you finish with?
I finished with probably around a gallon. Honestly, I didn't even check. I ran out during the celebrations, and I do apologize for how bad I sound. I'm losing my voice. But,
That's okay.
Yeah, Johnny and I, we stayed pretty hooked up for most of that race. Me and him have raced a good while together, so I feel confident, me and him pushing one another, but we can always kind of get the job done, do whatever we need to do. That was kind of the game plan. I wanted to be up by him towards the end. And I tried pushing him, but he said my car's broke, so I hit him going about 10 mile an hour quicker than him, and just decided to pull down below him and wound up winning. I don't know. I wouldn't call it a credible win. I wouldn't say that I earned that, but I will take it every single time, so no complaints.
Rather be lucky than good.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Biz or Jesse, you guys got any questions for our winner?
What was going through your head there with the 8 million accidents that happened on that last lap, driving through all of them? In 1 second, I saw you were in fifth. I blinked. There were a bunch of cars in the wall, and there was a bunch of pickles at the front of the field. What was going on there?
Well, it was definitely kosher, that last lap.
Okay.
I don't know. I just, I got lucky. I'm actually watching this last lap back now. We had a couple of lap cars in that outside lane. We had all the top 5 running in that bottom lane. We had the lap cars in the high lane. And that just created an interesting scenario that, I was able to be fortunate to be where I was at the time. And, like you say, the pickle comes out in front.
Next week is Jesse, you got a question for him?
No.
Okay,
I'm reading some other news that broke tonight.
Oh, okay. We can put that on hold. But your thoughts on going to Charlotte now? It's a slightly different type of racing on the 1.5 mile versus the super speedway here. Thoughts going next week and continuing the chase for the championship here, going to Charlotte.
Yeah, definitely just glad to get a win. I'd honestly have to brush up on the rules. I don't know if this helps lock me into anything or, really, it makes those chances of making the playoffs a lot better. But, Charlotte, it's a good racetrack. I imagine some tire conservation will be involved in that. I'm not incredibly quick anyway, so if I need to just run a smooth race that could help me, tire-wise, that's kind of how I was in contention last week at Texas, wound up finishing second, almost got the win from Johnny, just because I saved my tires a little bit more and got a lucky caution. So Charlotte, I'm sure will be a good race. A lot of really talented guys in this league that'll make it tough. I'm just glad to get a win here. That way I can kind of breathe a little bit easier. But yeah, it should be a really good race at Charlotte. I look forward to it.
Well, congratulations to my fellow Hoosier here, Hunter Waters, with the win. Any shout-outs to sponsors, family, friends, wives, girlfriend, whatever, anything that you want to say? You earned it here. Top podium step, man. Let it all hang out and let it yell. You definitely earned your chance to say thank you to the microphone to all your fans.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Firstly, shout out Law Chevrolet Buick. Give us a call if you're looking for a vehicle. Shout out to Hunter's Fried Pickles, fake company, but a cool car. And shout out, Christina, my fiance, my family, everybody at WWR, Dylan, Big John, back at Law, and like I say, just really got to thank my teammates, Brad, Tyler, Richard, Johnny, Will, AJ, for the beginning portion of this race. They're talented. They know how to get a strategy together. So I just try to soak up what I can whenever they're sitting in there discussing stuff, and just take advantage of whenever I can.
Well, congratulations on your win. I also have trouble saving my voice, so I understand what that's like. So what you need to do is go get lots of tea, lemon, and honey. It'll take care of that. And go celebrate your win and rest that voice. You earned it. Congratulations. And thanks for putting on a heck of a show for us here tonight.
Thank you. I'll be celebrating with a COVID test. I'll be looking forward to it.
Oh, no. All right. See ya. Thank you.
Thank you.
I tell you what, and now, not to give my medical history, but I picked up COVID from being a good son to my dad who had it, and he needed to go to the hospital, and I knew the risks, and I should have said, you know what? The ambulance is more prepared to take you to the hospital for that type of stuff. But no, I said no. I'm the nice son. I ended up getting it. His voice exactly is what happened to me for a period of about 3 weeks until my voice kind of recovered. So weird thing that COVID does. But
the good thing about sim racing is, at least for the most part, I think we're all at least 6 feet apart from each other. So,
well, virtually they were a heck of a lot closer than that, as we saw many cars sawing at back bumpers of the cars in front of them. Biz, starting with you, your thoughts on tonight's race, and then looking forward to Charlotte next week.
It was Dega, baby. It was fun. I mean, we've got some. I'm just kind of scrolling through the general chat here. As always with Dega, we got some people heated. They're all talking it out, having a good time. It was just fun. I don't think I've ever had this much fun in the booth watching a race. It was cars going crazy. I just don't really have any words for it. You saw what you saw. It was fantastic.
Justin, were you not entertained?
If you hear me not talking, that's my reaction. But
I know you got. But I know you got closing thoughts, my friend. I know you have something to say. Yeah.
It's just like when you're eating dinner. If you're eating dinner and everyone's silent, the food's pretty good.
Oh yeah. But that was almost your typical Talladega race, especially with the next generation Cup car that we have now. There was some pretty crazy moves that I wouldn't recommend doing, but still say goes. Anything goes in plate racing, although it's technically not plate racing
anymore, right?
Are basically in the history books now. But I don't know what else to say other than it was a wild race. What more can you expect? There was some pretty wild wreck avoidances, I will say as well.
Yeah.
The miraculous saves that with this car, and how when you get hit and you go sideways, it's almost damn near impossible to save. But with a little bit of help getting knocked back straight, it's at least a little bit more easy to save the car from spinning out and damn near hitting the wall.
Well, there you go. And checking chat here. Yeah, I think the big topic of the week for these drivers in Discord is going to be those lapped cars. We'll see how that pans out. But they have a week to cool off here and before they hit Charlotte next. So, folks, once again, if you liked what you see here tonight, then mark your calendars for something that you will truly have to see to believe. And join us Race First this Monday night as the official iRacing Indy Fix Series will be right here at Talladega all next week. That's right. As I said before, IndyCar pack racings and with speeds in excess of 250 miles per hour. Join Race First coverage starting at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time Monday night, so you don't miss out on any of the action. Go to youtube.com/racefirst to subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so you won't be left behind to bear witness to one of the true rarities of any type of racing, Indy cars at Talladega. So that's it for tonight. We at Race First want to thank everyone at NRN for choosing and trusting us with the wheel this week. For everyone watching at home, if you like what you saw here, be sure to hop on over to youtube.com/racefirst and give our channel a subscribe as well. We really would appreciate it. Once again, your podium from Talladega, Hunter Waters, my fellow Hoosier with the bad voice. I understand what that's like. Is your winner, General Colton J. Harvey, P2, and Brad Allison from Down Under is P3. Chris and the regular NRN crew will be back again next week for round 10 of the SRC's Premier Series Fall 2022 season as the series moves to the Charlotte Motor Speedway. You can catch me again tomorrow for more pinch hit duties for an NRN doubleheader. First joining me in the booth will be season 3 of 2022 Indy Fixed Division 1 champion Mark Murphy and myself. We will be at 8:30. We'll call the action for the ESRA IndyCar Series as it visits the Chicago Street Meme Circuit. That's right, meme circuit. And then we'll immediately following. I will be joined by former Revolution Indy League's Daredevil Series champion James Watson, as will cover the Indy Pro 2K official series with their weekly strength of field race at Spa at 10:15 p.m. Eastern. As always, make sure to check YouTube for the correct broadcast time in your area at youtube.com/National Racing Network. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game is not easy, so please help support Race First and NRN with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below. Let us know what you thought of tonight's race. And if you enjoyed tonight's coverage, support NRN by smashing like in the video. Just like this. Just very simple. Like, and it goes a long way for the channel. If you're new, click subscribe while you're at it. Hit the bell for weekly reminders so you don't miss out on more of NRN's other iRacing programming. And they have a lot of it, and you won't want to miss any of it. For business inquiries and to learn more about Race First and what we do, visit racefirst.com or subscribe to us on YouTube or like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. You can follow all of us via our Twitter handles right here at the bottom of the screen. Unfortunately, I do not have Biz. I don't have yours, but you can shout yours out. But here is Race First, mine and Justin's. Biz, what is your Twitter?
I stay off of Twitter.
Oh.
It's good for the mental health.
I mean, he's got a point there.
Well, that's where you go when you want to make that mean heel turn. Oh, well. So for Justin Petschauer, we got Patrick Byrne, the Biz, everyone here at NRN and Race First. I'm Gary Gotzo saying to all good night, and thanks for watching. And to all the men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Happy birthday, Mom. I miss you. Catch the series again next week at Charlotte right here on NRN for the next race of the Sema Racers Club Premier Series. Good night.